What if everything you've ever been taught about truth is a lie? We live in a world that praises truth as the highest virtue. From school lessons to political speeches, we're told to uphold truth at all costs. Yet, Machiavelli, one of history's most controversial thinkers, offers a radically different perspective. What if, according to Machiavelli, the most powerful force in human existence isn't truth but lies? Have you ever felt manipulated by the stories others tell? Have you ever wondered why certain people, despite their deceit, seem to wield power, command respect, and shape influence, while those who are honest often go unnoticed? What does this reveal about the nature of power? Machiavelli, renowned for his political strategy and mastery of power dynamics, introduced a revolutionary idea. In the game of life, power doesn't lie with truth. It lies with the ability to control perception, to create narratives, and to manipulate what others believe. Truth is often just a tool in the hands of those who know how to spin it, twist it, or even fabricate it to suit their needs. But how does this actually work? Why do lies, rather than truth, hold such dominance over our lives? This is the essence of Machiavelli's secret, the key to understanding how power is gained and exercised. Truth, after all, is limited. It can be tested, proven, or disproven. But lies are limitless. They can be reshaped, expanded, and bent to fit any situation. Lies have the power to shape reality itself, to influence entire nations, societies, and individuals. You might ask, is it ethical to manipulate others with lies? Machiavelli's answer is clear. In the pursuit of power, ethics are secondary. Rulers, he argued, often need to deceive to maintain their position. To control others, they must manipulate not just the facts, but the perceptions around them. This, in turn, shapes how we, as individuals, interact with and navigate the power structures around us. Lies, it turns out, are the most potent weapon for survival, self-interest, and control. But here's the deeper question. How much of this mindset is embedded in your own life? How often do you use lies, whether intentionally or not, to shape how others see you, to control your own narrative? Do you hide behind the shield of truth because it feels safer, or do you use deception to further your own goals, your own power? Machiavelli understood the psychological mechanics of power, how individuals, driven by self-interest, manipulate the world around them using deception, psychological tactics, and, at times, outright falsehoods. The most successful among us don't simply tell the truth. They craft truths that others are eager to accept. They create realities that serve their own interests, all while appearing virtuous in the eyes of the public. The real question, though, is not whether lies are more powerful than truth, but why we keep falling for them. Why do we embrace deception even when we know it's harmful? Why do we allow ourselves to be swayed by the carefully constructed narratives spun by those in power? It's not just politicians and rulers who use this. We see it everywhere. Political strategies that exploit public trust, advertisements that manipulate the truth to sell products, social media influencers who create perfect lives while hiding their flaws. But here's the question: are we actually powerless in the face of these lies? The world is not just divided between those who lie and those who tell the truth, it's divided between those who know how to control the narrative and those who don't. Are you ready to see through the lies that shape your world? Because once you do, you'll never look at things the same way again. Let's begin this journey into Machiavelli's world, where truth is merely a tool and lies are the true currency of power. Subscribe now and let's uncover the most powerful secret ever revealed. Why do we lie? Why are we so easily deceived? And more importantly, why do we trust lies even when we know deep down they're false? These questions form the heart of Machiavelli's secret. To truly understand why lies are more powerful than truth, we must first dive into the psychology of deception, the philosophical roots of manipulation, and the deep-seated forces that shape human behavior. Let's start with the psychology of self-interest. At our core, humans are wired to act in ways that preserve and enhance their well-being. This isn't just an ethical decision, it's primal. Our brains are hardwired to seek rewards, avoid pain, and, above all, ensure survival. This drive, while powerful, is also deeply vulnerable to manipulation. Machiavelli knew this instinct well. He understood that if a person could appeal to an individual's deepest desires and fears, they could control their thoughts, actions, and decisions. Deception, when skillfully crafted, feeds directly into these desires. Lies often promise immediate rewards without the price of discomfort. They exploit our need to believe in something easier, more comforting, or more convenient than the truth. The truth requires effort, analysis, and often pain. It forces us to confront uncomfortable realities. But a well-spun lie provides an escape. It offers a path of least resistance, a shortcut that avoids the complex and difficult nature of reality. Consider this. Why do we believe in things that defy logic or evidence? Why do we fall for fake news, false promises, and manipulative ads? The answer is simple: because our brains are built to take shortcuts. Cognitive biases, like confirmation bias, affect how we process information. We are more likely to believe a story that aligns with our existing beliefs, even if the facts don't add up. Lies, in their essence, are often crafted to play on these biases, making them far more attractive than inconvenient truths. But lies also prey on a deeper, more existential fear: the fear of not belonging, the fear of being left out, or the fear of being insignificant. Machiavelli understood that rulers, those in positions of power, had the most to gain by capitalizing on this fear. They didn't just manipulate the masses with lies, they crafted entire realities that seemed undeniable, ones that made people feel included, safe, and part of something bigger than themselves. A well-crafted narrative made them feel seen, heard, and validated. Psychologically speaking, this is the foundation of influence. By aligning a lie with the desires, insecurities, or needs of the masses, a ruler could create a loyal following, one that not only accepted the lie but also defended as truth. This is the power of manipulation. Philosophically, Machiavelli dug even deeper into the concept of self-interest. At the core of his thinking was the idea that morality, as most of us understand it, is subjective. In the pursuit of power, rulers must discard traditional ethics. In fact, ethics are a hindrance in the cutthroat battle for dominance. In a world governed by self-interest, morality is often negotiable. The idea of right and wrong blurs when survival and power are at stake. What's right for the individual, or even for society, is secondary to the need for control. Rulers who are able to deceive, manipulate, and play on the fears of others are the ones who rise to the top. They master the subtle art of influence, bending the world to their will, yet projecting an image of honesty and virtue. For them, the ability to tell compelling lies is a vital tool in maintaining their reign. But this psychological manipulation isn't reserved solely for rulers. It touches every part of our lives. From the media we consume to the advertisements that surround us, we're constantly bombarded with crafted stories and half-truths designed to shape our perception of reality. And we've learned to accept it. We've been conditioned to trust in the stories that are presented to us, whether those stories come from politicians, corporations, or even our own circles. The question now is not whether these lies exist. They do, but how do they affect us, and why are we so easily swayed by them? This is the true power of deception. It's not just about the lies themselves, but about how they make us feel. Lies tap into the deepest parts of our psyche, playing on our emotions, fears, and desires. They shape our beliefs, alter our behavior, and guide our decisions. And here's the truly unsettling part: we let it happen. We often choose the comforting lie over the difficult truth. We embrace the illusion of control, of certainty, over the messy, uncertain reality. We choose stories that make us feel safe even if they are false. And this, according to Machiavelli, is the root of power. How do we break free from this cycle of deception? How do we resist the urge to believe in the lies that surround us? That's the journey we're about to take. But first, we need to fully understand the unseen consequences of this manipulation and the toll it takes on our perception of reality. We've all been victims of deception. From small, harmless lies to the grand manipulations that shape entire societies, we all succumb to them at some point in our lives. But what happens when these lies are woven into the fabric of our daily existence? When the narratives we are fed shape not only our behavior but our very understanding of the world? The consequences are immense. Imagine for a moment how often you find yourself questioning reality. How often have you felt doubt creeping in after hearing a conflicting version of the truth? Lies, whether on a personal or societal scale, have an uncanny ability to alter our perception. They cause us to question what is real, what is true, and what is merely a convenient fabrication. These distortions affect us at a fundamental level. Consider the way political narratives are spun. A politician who lies to maintain their power isn't just deceiving voters, they're altering the entire political landscape. Over time, these lies shape public opinion and determine policy. The more these lies are repeated, the more they become part of the collective reality. People begin to accept these fabricated truths as fact, not because they've been proven, but because they've been told so many times that they begin to feel true. Cognitive biases play a massive role in this. Confirmation bias, for instance, leads us to accept information that aligns with our existing beliefs while rejecting anything that contradicts them. This is why lies, once accepted, become so deeply embedded in our consciousness. If a politician, for example, repeats a lie that aligns with the values or desires of their supporters, those supporters will defend it, even in the face of evidence that proves it false. They've already chosen to believe it, and the more they hear it, the more they see it as reality. On a personal level, lies distort how we see ourselves and others. The world is full of stories. Our own personal narratives, the stories others tell about us, and the narratives we're sold through media. These stories shape how we view our own worth, our potential, and our place in the world. The more we believe the lies told to us, the more we begin to internalize them. For instance, the idealized images of success that flood social media. The carefully curated lives of influencers, the perfectly filtered photographs, the seamless stories of accomplishment. These are lies. Yet they are so pervasive that they shape how we perceive success. We begin to measure our own lives against these distorted realities. We see our own struggles and failures as shortcomings, as if we're somehow less because we don't measure up to these false standards. In reality, these lies don't just distort our self-image. They drive us to make decisions based on an ideal that doesn't exist. This is the subtle but powerful impact of deception. Lies don't just alter facts. They change the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we interact with the world. They create a filter through which we view reality. We become so accustomed to this distorted vision that we no longer question it. We see the world through the lens of the lies that have been fed to us. And it doesn't end there. Lies also create a culture of distrust. Once a lie takes root, once it becomes part of the narrative, it breeds skepticism. We no longer know who to trust. Political leaders lie, corporations lie, even friends and family members sometimes lie. When we are surrounded by falsehoods, it becomes harder to discern what is true. We question the intentions of everyone around us. Our relationships suffer, and our communities fracture. Once broken, trust is hard, if not impossible to restore. This is the true power of lies. They create a world of uncertainty, confusion, and division. The more lies circulate, the more disconnected we become from reality. The more we are manipulated, the less we understand about who we really are, what's actually happening around us, and what we truly want in life. And yet, as Machiavelli pointed out, those who can master the art of deception are the ones who hold the reins of power. They understand that lies are not just words. They are tools that can reshape entire systems. They craft their lies with precision, understanding the fears, desires, and biases of their audiences. They manipulate the very perceptions of reality that shape our world. What can we do about it? How can we break free from this web of deceit that distorts our view of the world? The first step is to recognize that lies are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger system designed to control. To reclaim control over our own lives, we must first see the lies for what they are. We must learn to question everything, to challenge the narratives we've been fed, and to reject the false realities that have been constructed for us. But to do that, we need to understand the true cost of manipulation. We need to see how these lies affect our sense of self, our relationships, and our view of the world. Only then can we begin the process of breaking free from the chains of deception and start seeing the world as it truly is. What if the key to breaking free from deception lies not in rejecting all lies, but in mastering the art of truth? Imagine for a moment. What if you could rise above the manipulation, navigate through the layers of deception, and reclaim control over your own life, free from the distortions around you? This shift in perspective isn't about denying the presence of lies. It's about seeing them for what they are and using the same principles of influence that Machiavelli skillfully articulated to break their hold on you. Understanding how to break free from deception requires more than just rejecting falsehoods. It demands an active approach to reclaiming your own power. Here's the key. Once you accept that lies are a fundamental force in shaping power dynamics, the next step is to learn how to use your awareness of these deceptions as a tool for empowerment. Machiavelli, with his sharp political insights, didn't simply use lies as a method of manipulation. He used them to control the narrative, to mold perceptions, and to play the game of power with unparalleled skill. And here's where the revolution begins. You can do the same. But how? First, you need to adopt a mindset shift, a radical change in how you perceive your interactions with the world. The moment you begin to see the underlying narratives shaping your experiences, you no longer become a passive participant in those stories. Instead, you start to craft your own. This is a mindset of control, not submission. A mindset where you consciously decide which lies you will allow to shape your reality and which truths you will uphold. One of the first lessons in Machiavelli's philosophy is that power isn't just about truth, it's about influence. Influence is the ability to sway perception and create belief systems that serve your interests. Those who control perception, those who shape the narrative, ultimately control the power dynamics around them. Once you see this, you realize the truth is just one part of the equation. It's the perception of truth that holds the real power. This is where psychological tactics come into play. To break free from the grip of deception, you need to start using the very tools that are used against you. Become a master of perception. Begin to shape your environment, your relationships, and your beliefs, not based on what others tell you, but based on a clear understanding of your own desires, needs, and values. To break free, you must control your own narrative. The moment you realize that power is not simply a matter of truth, you take the reins of your story. No longer a passive participant, you actively decide which lies serve your life and which truths you want to defend. This doesn't mean lying. It means telling your own story on your own terms. You gain control by shaping your reality to reflect your true values, not the false ones presented to you by others. Mastering appearances is another crucial step. Machiavelli highlighted the importance of a ruler's public image, even when their private actions were less virtuous, because people are influenced by what they see, not necessarily by what's true. When you understand the power of perception, you begin to wield it. Your image, your actions, your words, they all create a reality in the minds of others. The more you understand this, the more you control how others see you and how you can influence them in return. This is not about deceit. It's about aligning your outward appearance with your inner intentions in ways that strengthen your narrative. Critical thinking is another vital tool for breaking free. Questioning everything is the foundation of reclaiming your autonomy. Every piece of information, every story, every narrative needs to be questioned. Don't accept things at face value. Ask yourself who benefits from this lie and why. By training yourself to spot manipulation and deception, you begin to regain the ability to see through the illusions others construct for you. The journey to freedom from deception is uncomfortable. Truth is rarely simple, especially when it comes to personal truth. But in this discomfort lies power. Once you embrace the messy, uncomfortable truth, you become immune to the oversimplified lies that the world throws at you. Truth is complex, and embracing this complexity makes you less susceptible to manipulation. To truly break free from the cycle of deception, you need to understand that the simple lies we're told are often designed to comfort us, to provide us with easy answers. The world is full of uncertainty, and it's this uncertainty that can leave us vulnerable to false narratives. By embracing complexity and stepping into the uncomfortable unknown, you begin to see the world in its full, intricate form, free from the distortion of oversimplified lies. History offers valuable lessons in breaking free from manipulation. Those who have risen to power, both through lies and truths, have learned to control perception. Leaders, thinkers, and philosophers who understood the dynamics of influence have shown us that mastering the art of manipulation doesn't have to mean deceit. It can mean controlling the story, shaping the narrative, and ultimately shaping the reality around you. The takeaway is simple. Breaking free from deception isn't about rejecting all lies. It's about taking control of your own narrative, shaping your perception of the world, and aligning your actions with your deepest values. By doing so, you reclaim the power that has always been yours. Now that you understand the power dynamics at play, the way lies shape reality, the way manipulation controls perception, you might be wondering, what is the ultimate truth that changes everything? What is the final revelation that will allow you to break free once and for all? Here's the most profound realization: the truth is not absolute. It is subjective. This is the ultimate secret Machiavelli understood and the one he wielded with deadly precision. Truth, as most people understand it, is not an immutable force that exists independently of our minds. It is a creation, a construct, shaped by those who have the power to shape narratives. The truth is malleable, adaptable, and highly influenced by the very forces that manipulate our perceptions. What Machiavelli's philosophy teaches us is that the ultimate power doesn't lie in what we claim to be true, it lies in the ability to define truth itself. Those who hold the power to shape the narrative, whether through media, politics, or culture, are the ones who define what is real for everyone else. They are the ones who dictate the rules of engagement. The rest of us, unfortunately, often live within the boundaries of their constructed realities. Consider the weight of this realization. If truth is subjective, then it's not the lie itself that's powerful, it's the belief in the lie. The moment you realize that truth is fluid, that it is something that can be shaped and influenced, you understand that your reality can be remade at will. Machiavelli understood that power isn't just about facts or morals, it's about perception. The more adept you are at controlling the perceptions of others, the more control you have over the world around you. And the ultimate freedom comes when you stop relying on external definitions of truth and begin to shape your own reality. This leads to a profound insight. The greatest deception is the one we practice on ourselves. The lies we believe about the world, about others, and most importantly, about ourselves, are the ones that trap us in a false narrative. We are the ones who allow these lies to define our limits, to shape our self-worth, and to dictate our actions. But once you realize that truth is not something you discover, but something you create, everything changes. The power to shape your own narrative, to define your own reality, is now in your hands. No longer do you need to be a passive victim of the lies around you. No longer do you need to accept the world's version of the truth. Instead, you can carve out your own version, one that serves your purpose, aligns with your values, and empowers you to take control. The impact of this realization is life-changing. You are no longer at the mercy of the manipulations of others. You are no longer bound by the truths they impose on you. You are free to create your own reality, to write your own story, and to determine what is true for you. But this freedom comes with responsibility. The moment you accept that truth is subjective, you also accept that you are now the architect of your own reality. Your decisions, actions, and beliefs shape the world around you, and the power to do so is both thrilling and terrifying. It requires you to confront your deepest fears, to challenge your assumptions, and to question everything you've been taught about the nature of reality. What does this mean for you in real terms? It means that you must take control of your own narrative. You must stop allowing others to dictate the terms of your life, to define what is possible, and to tell you who you are. This is where true empowerment begins, when you accept that the world around you is shaped by perception and you choose to reshape your own. You must be willing to challenge the lies that have been fed to you, to confront the stories that have been imposed upon you, and to reject the false narratives that have constrained your potential. Only then can you begin to create a new reality, one that aligns with your true values, one that serves your purpose, and one that is built on your own terms. Here's the final, most powerful realization. You have always had the power to change your reality. You've always had the power to redefine what is true for you. You've always had the ability to reshape your world, to craft your own story, and to walk your own path. The only thing holding you back was the belief in the lies that others told you. But now you know the truth. Those lies were never real. The only reality that matters is the one you create. Now that you've witnessed the ultimate truth behind the power of lies, I want to hear from you. How has this changed the way you see the world around you? Drop a comment below, and let's continue the conversation. What's the truth that you'll start shaping for yourself today? Your story starts now.